Hi everyone, before we start this video, I would like for you to go to my Gofundme project, which are at the end of the description below. If you want to go help me with one of these projects, please click the links below, and it will take you to that particular project. So please help me. I need your help. Thank you. God bless. On this episode of Infowars News Blitz, NYT hires agent editor for her horrific racist tweets. Rand Paul visits Russia to promote diplomacy, and Tom Robinson speaks after being released from jail. That and a lot more, so stay tuned. For the week of August the 6th, 2018, this is first all day here. Algorithm Hot Paul's Rise and title is called New York Times admits hired editor despite knowing about her horrifical racist tweets. Zhang was not hired for her racist tweets. She was hired despite her racist tweets. She was hired because of them. Oh my god. The New York Times issued a statement admitting it knew about journalist Sarah Zhang's horrifical racist tweets before hiring her to join the editorial board. As we reported earlier, Zhang's tweet scores of messages expressing deep hatred for white people, and later on, folks, cops and the New York Times, including her desire to see them become extinct. In one tweet, she complains about dumbass effing white people making the internet with their own opinions like dogs spacing on hydrants. Oh my god. Folks, I'm not even gonna read any more of this. I'm just gonna look. I mean, you can just see it right here. And in another tweet, John explains how she gets a stick of joy out of being cruel to all white men and how white should be canceled. Oh my god. I mean, to be honest with you folks, here's the kicker. And I'm going to continue on here. Here's the kicker. The New York Times admitted it knew all about these blasphemy tweets, and yet they hired her anyway. The statement ludicrous claims that Zhang was a victim of harassment and was merely responding to the same tone as her online bullies. BS. The article goes on to say that the most rampant industrial bigotry today is that leveled against white working class Trump supporters. The New York Times has one of the biggest amplifiers of this rhetoric. And here's only true for the world about that.
You have this New York Times editorial board member. Her name is Sarah Zhang, who puts out all of this anti-white racism on Twitter. She hates white people. It gets totally exposed, even calls for the annihilation of white people. And New York Times says, we're going to keep her around. But then you have a couple baseball players, and they're saying now baseball has a toxic culture, because it's, American tradition. So that you get like a couple baseball players that have people go find these old tweets that they make that are kind of, I mean, honestly, they're like neutral compared to what this New York Times editorial person put out. But they have to go to sensitivity training. People are saying maybe they should get kicked off the team. So is that not the perfect example of the double standard right there, Roger?
Sure sounds like it to me, Owen.
So, yeah, if you're racist against white people, you're fine. If you're white, though, and you have anything that they view as racist, you have to be shut down. And by the way, they think everything is racist, so everybody will be shut down eventually. All right, Roger Stone, good to hear from you today. Godspeed, Roger. We'll speak with you soon.
Okay, thank you. And once again, folks, as Joe Solente calls it, they have now proven themselves to be They totally favor of records, the New York Times. In spades. I mean, this girl is so racist. I mean, what's next? Amy U's is not gonna go to jail because, well, she's Asian? And for those who are basically listening to this whole thing, I mean, the joke about Amy Yu, this girl from Allentown ran out with a 45-year-old guy to Cancun, and they found her in Cancun with the guy. Let's just say that she ran off again, but they found her again. So I think I'm not sure if I'm gonna put any updates about this, but seriously, this girl is racist. God. Anyway, folks, moving on. Here's an article by Mikhail Thaler. The title is called "Rand Paul visits to visit Russia in effort to promote diplomacy." Kentucky senator to lead U.S. delegation to Moscow next week. U.S. Senator Rand Paul is set to visit Russia next week as part of an effort to promote diplomacy. The Kentucky lawmaker will lead a U.S. delegation to Moscow on Monday to meet Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabak admits deteriorating relations between the two countries. Senator Rand Paul is postponement is a prominent of diplomacy and is supporting of President Donald J. Trump in engaging around the world. The statement that he looks forward to the meetings. In an op-ed for Politico last month, Paul released his plans for the trip, culting the need to prevent further unnecessary escalations of tensions. The Republican also praises Trump's summit with Russia President Vladimir Putin in Helsinki. Paul's trip just comes a month after a group of Republican senators and House members similarly visited Moscow. Dialogue has especially been important when hundreds of millions of lives are at stake, as it is case in retaliation between the United States and a nuclear on Russia, Paul said in the op-ed. But enough about that, folks. Here's David Knight with that.
Kentucky Senator Rand Paul will be heading to Russia next week. The prominent Republican will lead a delegation of U.S. officials to Moscow next Monday. The group will meet with members of Russia's parliament. No word if they will meet with Putin. No other details to the trip have been released to the public at this time. Yesterday, there was a news conference with all the leaders of the NSA and the Director of National Intelligence and the FBI and Homeland Security, and John Bolton's mustache was there. And they were all saying, Russia's a big threat, and they're the only people in the world that have ever hacked or tried to do anything or influence an election. But when we actually get YouTube and Facebook in there, they're like, well, they spent $100,000, this group, and we have connected them to Russia. YouTube's like, well, we found 32 accounts with 1,000 videos, and we deleted them. And so basically what they're saying is if you have $100,000 and Bolton's mustache and 1,000 YouTube videos in English, you can switch an election. So why are these people spending billions of dollars? The advertisers that are having to pay so much money to advertise on these networks should be asking, why are we having to pay so much? It should only cost $100,000 to run an election.
All right, thank you. I mean, that's a good idea. Let's talk to Russia. I mean, basically, they're trying to build up their country. We're trying to build our country up. We should be talking to them because they got nukes. If we don't talk to these guys, we might be, how we put this, we're dead. Plain and simple. For our last article, here is an article written by Sputnik. The title is called, They Tried to Mentally Destroy Me. Tommy Robinson speaks up after release. Underneath it says, that wasn't a prison sentence. That was mental torture. Tommy Robinson, former leader of the right-wing English defense League, an anti-Islamic activist, has been set free on bail after successfully appealing against contempt of court charges. Earlier, he was sentenced for violating courtroom reporting rules after he streamed a closed process on a gang raping case. Even though we all know that was not true, he just pointed out there was a court case going on and practically they locked him up. A video posted on his YouTube channel, the co-founder of the right-wing anti-immigration English Defense League, Tommy Robinson, has pointed the finger at UK authorities over the way they treated him when he was behind bars. When they tried to do was to mentally destroy me. That wasn't a prison sentence. That was mental torture. If I was bitter and angry, I would accept my own victimhood. I'm not their victim. I'm not their target. Robinson, whose real name is Stephen Lennon, underscore in a 5-minute clip. The video was released shortly after Robinson had been freed on bail following the London court ruling that the process during which he was convicted was flawed and concluded too harshly. Concluded? They sent this guy to jail within 5 minutes for 13 months. I kid you not. That was fast, if you ask me. Earlier, Robinson supporters set up an online petition for his release, which gathered more than 600,000 signatures and which specifically claimed that he was put in prison for reporting on a Muslim grooming gang and informing the public of all the wrongdoings committed in the name of Allah. And I'm going to stop right there. I mean, the guy practically went to jail. Within 5 minutes. That's fast. But also, we're all glad for him to be out of that hellhole too. I mean, basically, we adore you. I actually bought one of his books, even though I don't have it here because my mom took it away from me. But, you know, I hope he came out of this a bit stronger and more focused than ever now. Well, let's pray for the best. We're glad to have you back, Ms. Robinson. We're glad to have you back. Well, anyway, that's all the articles I have for you today here. If you'd like to read more about these articles, please go to the links below or go to Infowars.com or PrisonPan.com. There you can find hundreds of articles. Those are the ones I have read for you today. This is the Infowars News Blitz. I'm Infogundam, live of feed number 3. Please like, subscribe, and please donate to my Gofundme Project. Thank you. God bless.